No, everyone's priority is to rescue Tay.
That's a priority. We'll see. Um, alright, so, previously, the group of you have been delving through an incredibly deep underground network of interconnected tunnels with these weird crystalline walls that maybe weren't excavated or burrowed through by whichever creature lived down here. You ran into some adversaries, shall we say, whilst trying to loot a treasure room and then rest in a chamber adjacent to said treasure room. That went about as well for you as you could have hoped. You also may have blown up a massive bulette and alerted most creatures of your existence in this space. You pressed on. Dunnan being the source of potential flight from this region. He refused to take everyone out. He felt this calling, this drive to push. And push you did. You made your way through a cloud of some type of gaseous vapor. None of you actually touching it and seeing what type of effects it might have had upon you, if any. And found a broken through section of crystal wall. Entering this new chamber, there was a massive pile of rocks, or what you mistook for a massive pile of rocks and fungi, that you realized later was a slumbering, gargantuan deep dragon. Heliwrast presented herself to this slumbering behemoth, imploring it to stop doing what it's doing, or see if she can reason with it in some way. And its sleep remained unchanged. We all felt a presence override your initial thoughts. This telepathic entity press in on you. From all around the room, bits of reddish slime coalesced into this massive head made up of thousands of little faces. And it deigned to not allow you to leave this place, at least as you are. The fight's been on. We have a few spells going at the moment. A Flaming Sphere, Spirit Guardians, Shades Aura on Heliwrast. Dunnan has Shield of Faith active. Fighting this creature, this aspect of Reklork. You've learned that it has the capability of thieving your memories away from you. And creating duplicates of things that you have previously fought and slain. This is where we're picking up in initiative. And then of note as well, while I'm moving into the map, is Aeolus's bit that he has come across. The rod which he carries has been continuously drawing him to a certain space. I believe that should bring all of you onto the correct map. I can shift ping you all.
I only see my
Yeah.
token right now.
How do you not have dark vision? I've given you dark vision like 12 times.
Yeah. I can refresh again, but
Oh, no, I got it. I'm fixing it now. The token didn't have dark vision on it. You should be able to see now.
okay.
Aeolus has been drawn to this space, pulled by the crystalline rod which he carries and he came across. and it seems that this other entity fighting alongside the aspect of Rekluk, this tentacled monstrosity of a humanoid, also bears a similar looking item. So we are picking up in an initiative with Siegfried. You currently have Chalice going. You are out of your wheels. And I've spent a couple of your Stone's Endurances, I believe. Let me double check your... you have 1 Stone's Endurance left, and your Guiding Bolts. Your star map is empty.
Okay. Cool.
I think that's everything.
Alright. So Teng is in trouble.
If I'm grappled, do we still get the flanking bonus?
If you are not restrained, let me double check the stat block. While grappled, you are stunned, so you provide 0 threat at the moment.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just...
So he does not get the flanking bonus.
Okay, cool, thanks.
Sorry, I'm just...
That's fine. You're getting your feet underneath you for a moment.
Yeah.
So far, all of you have been very careful to avoid putting that draconic creature, that gargantuan behemoth, into the area of effect of any spell.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I am... Don't have wild shapes. Just trying to see if there's anything I can use from the Ring of Winter. Can I drop... Sorry, I need a template now. One moment. So... Freezing... Sphere is the one I want to try. It has, No, that's not the one. That's not the one. The one I'm looking for is Ice Storm. That's the one. So there's a 20-foot radius. Snap to corner. Circle. I don't want to hit the dragon. I'm just getting it to 20 feet.
Just
but I want...
measure horizontally on the map.
Yeah. Can I... I basically just want to get myself and the Mindbreaker in it.
Okay. Make sure you're measuring horizontally.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I don't want to touch the dragon or Teng, but I will...
There you go.
Yeah. I'll leave myself inside it. And
Sounds fine.
with the Mindbreaker. Yeah. So I will use 2 charges of the Ring of Winter to do that.
Okay. Go ahead and drop that spell in. Oh, you already did.
I did. Yep. It's what kind of save is it? Is it Dex save?
Dex save for the Mindbreaker.
I will make it as well. I'm immune to the cold damage, but I can still take the bludgeoning damage.
Noted. Okay.
Yeah.
Dexterity. That is a 22 on its Dex save. Wow.
So I got a 22 as well.
Okay. So I believe there's
takes...
half damage across the board,
yeah,
though, right?
So it's 2d8 plus 4d6. So here comes the bludgeoning damage, which I'm gonna take half.
Okay.
Sorry, I messed up the... So it takes 7, I take,
So it takes
3.
half that. So 3.
Yeah, sorry.
And then the cold damage, just it takes. Yeah. Another 7 on top of that.
Yeah.
If you go into the spell, click on the little gear. You can put a double bracket around 2d8 and another double bracket around 4d6, and it'll
Okay.
roll them when you put the spell into chat. Also.
Yeah, I will do that. Sorry, I have to keep track of my Ring of
good.
Winter points.
Yeah.
So I'm
No
down
worries.
to 8. I'm down to 8. Ring of Winter points. With a bonus action, I'm gonna send a level 3 healing word towards Aeolus,
Certainly.
and then that activates my. So Aeolus gets 11 HP. Who's the most hurt besides Aeolus that I can see right now?
Teng's alright. Jaya's kind of rough.
Yeah,
Dunnan's outside your range.
yeah. I can't see him either.
Yeah.
Unless
Nah, you have a
that
giant.
thing is,
There's a
yeah, that
giant
thing is
head of
pretty
fun in
tight.
the way.
Yeah. So I will send a chalice healing towards Tang.
Okay.
Uh,
All right, and then that'll bring us to Tang with Heliwrast on deck.
Tang gets 7 HP.
So Tang, I need you to roll me. I believe it's an intelligence saving throw. Let me double check.
Okay. This is gonna be great.
Yes, it is an intelligence saving throw.
Okay.
You manage to break out from the grasp of the Mindbreaker. That is the end of your turn, but you are no longer grappled and stunned.
Yeah. Okay, great.
All right, that'll bring us to Heliwrast with the Mindbreaker on deck.
Okay. So Ellie's just got Spirit Guardians on deck. Is she she's not grappled or anything, is she?
No, you're just adjacent to this thing.
Just adjacent. Okay, so basically Dunnan and I are flanking
At the moment, yes.
the aspect? Yes. Okay. Not really seeing any other thing other than just since it's so close, doing a double shade and shine.
Okay. Action, bonus action, go for it. 2 attacks.
I forgot to pull my sheet up. Okay.
All right. 15 on the first is a miss. Second attack.
And there it is. They're both misses?
Well, you have advantage.
Oh, okay.
That was just covered. So we have 15 for shade. Now give me an advantage attack with shine.
Okay.
They have the same bonus. So 27 will hit. So 14
Nice.
points of damage in there.
Okay. That's it.
And I will check the Constitution save for... Nope, can't fail that. For concentration. Anything else for your turn? Movement?
Nope, not moving.
Okay. End of your turn, the aspect of Oblex... the aspect of Recklock, pardon me, will use legendary action. And attempt to eat your memories. I'd like you to make me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Of course. Nope.
18. That is a failure.
Yes.
45 points of psychic damage. And...
Ellie doesn't have a lot of memories, does she?
Yeah, I'm thinking what would be good. You forget the activities you did whilst serving in Blackburn Watch.
Okay.
You remember that you served, but it was nondescript. You have no basis of experience for what you did during that time other than wake up, go to sleep, basically.
Okay.
All right. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please,
Of course.
for concentration. 45. Half of that would have been 22 to maintain Spirit Guardians.
So they're gone.
That was a really good save too.
Yeah, I know. Shit.
I believe there is damage that it takes because it hit you. While you have the aura up for shade. Can you double check that, please? I think any creature that hits you takes damage. I'll do the Mind Breaker while you're checking on that for me. It's turning
1d6.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a d6. Every little bit adds up. Mindbreaker is turning to you, Siegfried.
Oh,
Nice. Definitely seems to not do quite as much as you expect. As you guys have gathered, it seems to be resistant to a lot of things, but you're making progress. The Mindbreaker is turning to Siegfried. I already used that. Oh. That's what I should... Recharge. Remember, mechanics exist. Okay. It is going to move. Tang, if you have a melee attack you would like to make for opportunity.
Can it be a cantrip?
Do you have Warcaster?
I do.
Then yes, you may.
Okay, I'm going to use Primal Savagery.
Absolutely.
Would she have advantage before it moved? Or
She doesn't need it. She crit.
Yeah, never mind.
25 points of damage.
Woo!
So there we go.
Good cantrip there.
Get wrecked.
All right. That's a brutal hit. Not thrilled about that. All right. I need a measuring tool. It's doing a cone. I believe it's 60 feet. Yep, 60-foot cone. Okay. Everyone except Daeolus. I would like to roll an intelligence saving throw, please. Tang pass, no effect. Heliwrast fail. Siegfried pass, no effect. Dunnan, does that include your aura?
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh, Dunnan fails. And Jaya. Oh, Jaya's up above. Jaya, that's a failure. All of the failures, so Heliwrast, Dunnan, and Jaya, suffer 22 points of psychic damage and are stunned, repeating the saving throw at the end of the turns.
Ellie's dead. She's down.
She's down.
Like she only had 11 points left.
Ooh. So you're not stunned. You're just down.
I'm just down.
So Heliwrast is bleeding out.
Crumpled in a heap.
How you doing, Jaya?
Uh, 22 out of 101.
Oh my. Okay. I don't think you can fail that concentration check. You have a adequate bonus to con, right? For a flaming sphere.
Since,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still in Blade Song, so
Oh, yeah, yeah. And then Dunnan, I need a con save for Shield of Faith.
Just a question: does that
Oh,
affect
you're
this
fine.
thing too? Does that affect this person too, or no?
They seem to be unaffected.
Okay.
No. As does the aspect of Greklork. And
Makes sense.
the dragon. That brings us to the aspect's turn, with Jaya on deck. It is going to make... Actually, it's on telekinesis right now. Aeolus, I'd like you to make me a strength check. You are lifted, Aeolus, off the ground.
Oh boy.
20 feet in the air, and you're
Oh,
currently
boy.
held in its telekinetic grasp.
Okay.
You are restrained while in its telekinetic grasp, but that's it.
Okay.
Flaming sphere ticks down. Jaya, around to you. Another intelligence save, please. Oh no. Did you roll another 2?
that's what it looks like.
Done an intelligence save. Dunnan, you shake off the stun. You are good to act on your next turn. The Blessed will aim at Aeolus and launch its Radiant Bolts. Wow. 8 and 16 to hit you with advantage.
16 hits.
16 hits. Okay.
Yep.
It is 10 points of damage, and it heals for 7. That brings us to Aeolus with Siegfried on deck, followed by Tech.
So the Star Metal Blaster is down here on the ground, right?
No, you would have grabbed it as soon as you became conscious.
Okay. Then I am going to...
Like, I would rule unless something specifically says you drop something or you say that you're dropping something, you still have it in your possession.
Okay. Then I am going to... I'm going to fire 2 shots at the Mind Breaker.
And the Mind
And
Breaker?
Yep, and shout to leave everyone else alone.
Okay, go for it. 2 attacks. You are disadvantaged because of the restrain. Ooh. Make me an intimidation check. As we come around to Siegfried. Anything with your bonus though?
I don't have anything I can do with a bonus.
Do you have any potions you can imbibe?
Yeah. My inventory says I have a greater healing potion
Go for it.
still, if it is not a mimic.
They're all mimics. 13 points, sure. Alright, that brings us to Siegfried with Tang on deck.
Okay. Again, I'm gonna try and use my Ring of Winter on the Mindbreaker, but since they're in a better spot, sorry.
You're fine. There's a lot of stuff going on right now.
I'm gonna Cone of Cold them.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
I
a
don't-
con save offhand.
Yeah.
8d8.
And that is 2 charges again. Gotta keep track of that.
I believe you're at 6 charges
6.
remaining.
Yep.
Yeah. No! Got a 12. Give me some damage
Nice.
there.
So that is 8d6.
8d8.
Oh, 8d8, even better. Oh, I did 8d6, sorry.
Oh my god.
8d8.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Slightly better than Fireball. 38 points of damage. It looks really rough after that. Frost
man.
has just flecked over some of the tentacles, and you can hear like that sort of cracking as they're trying to shift and move, as
Oh,
they've
let me
almost solidified within that blast
Sorry.
of energy.
Need to get back to the line. So Aeolus is about 30 feet away from me.
He's exactly 30 feet, yeah.
Yeah, Heli is also 30 feet. I'm gonna send the
I'm on
big.
cone still.
Okay. Cool. yeah, going through so many templates right now. So with the bonus action, I'm gonna do another healing word. This one's going towards Heli,
Okay. Healing word
And-
Heliwrast.
and then the chalice healing is going to go towards Aeolus.
Alright, sounds good.
Actually, yeah, Aeolus. I wanted to heal Jaya, but sorry. So Heli gets that much.
12.
Yep. And then Aeolus gets this one. 9.
9. Wonderful.
And that is my turn.
Okay. End of your turn. The aspect of Greklork is going to use...
Actually, one thing, I'm just gonna move on my turn.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go here.
Okay. The aspect of Greklork is going to use a legendary action. Dropping the telekinesis on Aeolus. Aeolus, roll me 2d6 for your falling damage. And is going to attempt to manipulate you, Siegfried. Make me a strength check. Wow. Strangely enough, you somehow succeed. Because it rolled a 2 on its ability to try to telekinesis you. So that moves us to Tang. Aeolus, you take that damage. Acrobatics check, DC 13 to not go prone.
Is this something athletics can apply to, or is it always pure
No,
strength?
it's just strength.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Everyone is at present up, correct?
Which one?
Everybody right now is up.
No
Like
one's
not
actively dying.
No.
Okay.
Aeolus and Heliwrast are on their knees. Jaya's frozen in place. Dunnan just shook off stun. Everyone looks like shit, but no one's dead.
Okay. And the Mindbreaker's looking rough.
Real bad, yeah.
Okay, great. I'm gonna use Sacred Flame because that's a dex save, right?
It is.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna use Sacred Flame on the Mindbreaker.
Absolutely. 6. Go ahead and give me some damage. 13. That is enough. How do you want to do this?
Tang has a singular focus on the Mindbreaker after being grappled and heavily injured in terms of damage taken by the Mindbreaker. And she lets out a piercing screech as a bolt of heavenly light descends down, striking the Mindbreaker.
Oh, I love it. As the energy courses through and sears the outside of it, and its flesh starts to peel away, you can feel the reverberation in the air as all of a sudden its form cracks and explodes in a 10-foot radius. Siegfried, you take 24 points of force damage being next to it.
I am going to use my reaction to Stone's Endurance.
Absolutely.
Whoops.
At least it was me, not anyone else.
That's very fair.
Yeah, good help. Yes.
There's no save on that. It's just damage.
Yeah. So, how much was the total?
24.
So I
So,
reduced it to 13?
yeah.
Mhm.
Ooh, that was great. That was good
Yeah.
Stone's Endurance.
Yeah, that was a really good roll.
Yeah. All right.
So that's your action, Tang.
Tang is then going to take flight. How high are the ceilings?
Ceilings here about 30-ish feet, 25, 30.
Okay. I'm gonna go up. How tall is the aspect of Greklork? 15 feet?
About 15 foot. It's probably like a 13-foot dome of
Okay. I'm
slimy
gonna go
heads.
25 feet in the air and move to a spot where I hopefully can see everybody.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm not in melee with it, but I can ideally see down and over top of it.
Yeah, I'd say you could.
Okay, that's where I'm gonna pause or stop my turn.
All right. That'll bring us to Heliwrast. You're prone, but conscious. What do you do?
Not gonna move to attract attention or anything like that, but I'm gonna go ahead and use my last 4th level spell to blight it.
Okay. You're definitely attracting attention, then, regardless of what you do.
I know, but still not standing up and going woohoo blight, just like
It's a Constitution save, right?
yes.
18. What's your DC? 17.
Um,
Does pass.
17.
So 38 halved to 19 points of damage. And that's a
Okay.
necrotic, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it does seem to resist this as well. The aspect of Greklork is you blight it with this necrotic energy, it just lets out this keening cry, or it sounds like layers of hundreds of voices overlapping. Anything else, Hedley?
As a bonus, I'm just gonna go ahead and pull Corin
Certainly.
again.
There you go.
So-
Corin ready to go. You can put her wherever you want. Are you going to stand up?
Yes, and I will stand.
All right.
And that's it.
Okay. End of your turn. The aspect will use two two of its legendary actions at once to conjure another being. And that needs to roll into initiative. 13. Damn it, right before it. Okay, so tail end of initiative now. But a new challenger appears as it like sort of slaws off this chunk of slime and travels quickly along the ground and reforms into that creature there. And that'll bring us to the aspect, who is very much not a fan of you, Heliwrast.
Mm-hmm.
Currently working on... No, it's not actually holding anyone there. It will...
Yeah, I don't think the telekinesis worked on me.
Yeah, no, yeah. So it doesn't need to maintain it with a action. I'm gonna do some pseudopod attacks. Heliwrast, pseudopod at you. Pseudopod at Shia.
I will
Pseudopod
react with Sentinel.
and pseudopod at Dun. Sounds good.
Well, let's see if it hits me.
Okay. So
I might
well,
be
I said the first one was Heliwrast, so that means you get to interrupt at that point.
Okay, well then I'll do.
So Heliwrast 24 to hit.
Oh hell yeah.
Okay. Dunnan, that's also a hit.
I'll smite it.
Absolutely. 12,
Done as it
14.
smites back.
Oh yeah.
Oh, awesome. I've been waiting.
And the first hit was a crit last session. That was awesome. The first smite.
I'm sad I missed it.
Very
Definitely,
flavorful.
definitely hurts.
It was a
Heliwrast.
great moment.
Take 15 points of bludgeoning, reduced to 12 because of Heavy Armor Master, and 5 points of psychic, so 17 total.
I'm dead again.
Yep, she's down again.
Corin is disjuncted at that point then.
Yep. Too bad.
Can you double check Shade's aura and let me know if it drops when you drop? It should be on the item card itself. Because otherwise you
Okay.
get to roll extra damage against it. Jaya. It has advantage because you're still stunned, so it's a 22 to hit you.
Nope.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn. And then Dunnan, 23 to hit you.
No, misses.
The damn Shield of Faith.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
That is the Aspect's turn. Jaya, give me an intelligence save. A great intelligence save. Oh my.
Christ.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go. You guys have got this. Yeah.
Dunnan, around to you.
Well, Dan is gonna move a little bit. No, first he's gonna hit the aspect once. Just once with advantage.
Shade's
No,
word does
twice.
go through. Okay. Go
Let's
ahead and
go.
give me
No.
another d6, Ellie. 21 hits.
Yeah. Then a second time. Yeah, and I'll smite level 3 with the second strike.
Level 3, so we have 4d8. Okay.
Yep.
Ooh, 21. How do you want to do this?
Oh god. He's just huffing and puffing in his on his last limbs, and he's just once, and then with all his fury and all his strength he has left, he smashes the hammer so hard down the earth breaks beneath it.
Alright. So as this fracture travels along, and you see it's relatively soft form compared to the stonework upon which it rests, the energy courses up through it, and you can see the whole thing shaking and quivering as it lets out this keening cry, and entirely separates and breaks. I need to roll some damage.
It's gonna explode.
It is going to
There's-
explode, but
there's-
Helly's already dead, so.
No, you're
Ellie.
unconscious.
0.
Okay.
I'm
So
glad that there aren't wounded levels in 5e.
no one is within range of the blessed at the top. Jaya is within range of the chosen at the bottom. Okay, Jaya, right off the bat from the chosen, you take 7 points as that becomes destroyed. And then Tang, you're 25 feet up. I'll say you're just outside of range. Dunnan, Heliwrast, and Jaya all instantly take 42 points of force damage as the aspect breaks.
Oh, I'm down.
Mm-hmm.
Thrown into the wall.
And Heliwrast, you fail a death saving throw for that damage.
Right.
Just one, because it's not actually an attack roll, so it's not actually a crit. It's just an instance of damage. Flame Sphere is gone. Along with Shield of Faith.
Did the Greklork thing, was it the one that cast the flaming sphere, or was it?
No, it was Jaya.
That was
Jaya.
Jaya.
Okay.
Aeolus, you are not down. You are prone. It's your action.
Aeolus sees the Mindbreaker fall, and then hears the explosion, and will rush over, pulling the medicine kit that Ken handed him,
Mm-hmm.
and is going to try to apply it to Heliwrast.
Okay. This is the healer's kit, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you using a charge of the healer's kit, you automatically succeed in the check. You don't need to roll. So Heliwrast, you are stable, but you are at 0. You don't have to keep rolling unless you take an instance of damage. That brings us to Siegfried.
Fabulous. Thank you, Amos.
Cool. I want to see if I can get there with my movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Mhm.
I will then use a level 2 Cure Wounds on Heli and send the Chalice Healing towards Jaya. And I assume Teng can hopefully help. Oh, sorry, I'm out of level 2 spells, so this has to be a level 1. No, sorry, I have 1 level 3 spell yet left, so I will do that. There we go. So Heli gets 22. Jaya gets that much.
Nice.
Thank you.
And that is my turn.
Okay. Let's see. So 2 of you are back up. Brings us to Teng.
Okay. Teng is going to fly lower. That's not right. Where's the wing? There it is. Towards Dunnan and use because I can't quite reach him for Cure Wounds, I'm going to use Healing Word on Dunnan.
Okay. And Dunnan is conscious. With that, I'm going to take the group of you out of initiative.
Oh,
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 boy.
awesome.
Oh. I
Like
see
the
everybody.
3 people that were down were like the tail end of initiative, so there wasn't even the risk of having to make saves. Worked out.
So Dunnan gets up and sees everybody and says,
Mhm.
"Everybody fine? Oh, besides some bruises."
Siegfried will run up
Sure.
and just like help Dunnan to his feet, very excited. Dunnan, your magic, it's back.
Apparently, and he will take the hand, say, "Excuse me for a second," and just push past Siegfried to that big dragon. And I'll just kneel down and say, "It was you, wasn't it? Who gave me back my powers, right? It was you who I heard."
There's no response.
I'll just kneel for a minute.
Can we just get out of here, Denny?
Teng
just
is flying over to berate Aeolus for saying that the Mindbreaker was a friend. She's really mad about that.
Can I?
Aeolus
Well,
is just shaking his head, walking towards the other part of the rod.
while Dunnan is kneeling, could I place a Kami charm near the dragon?
You can, yeah.
I will do that, and I'll make just a small prayer to keep this dragon sleeping and protected. That's the prayer.
It's fine. Yeah.
Dunning will get up after a minute and think, "I'll never forget it," and then just join the others. And just for everybody to know, so if I forget at one point, if you're within 10 feet, you get 9 temporary hit points from my
wow.
aura.
Oh, nice.
I turned to Heli. I understand the want to leave, but have we actually found anything about the Order of Whelm down here?
I don't know if we have or not, but Dunny can now take us back exactly here once we're fully rested and healed, and then we can continue.
Sure.
How about a zip out and a zip back in tomorrow?
Well, let's first examine that corpse over there, and I point to the Mindbreaker. Let's see if it has any clue.
I believe it exploded.
Oh, there's
The
nothing left.
Mindbreaker corpse.
Everything explodes.
Yeah,
when
everything
it
Everything
exploded.
down here.
We're just surrounded by like just craters here, here,
Oh.
It's a lot of
Yeah.
raspberry.
here.
Yeah. Ugh.
I mean, I guess that's the connection, right? The raspberry jam. We found it in the library. We found it here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, works out.
I mean, I'm just Secret's thinking. It's just that I mean, I'm glad you have your mojo back, Dunnan, and I'm glad we stopped this weird blob from doing whatever it was doing to the dragon, but we're still quite a ways off from our two objectives. One, finding information on the order, at least the succession crisis that's going on in the city, and two, helping Kelpip establish the establishment. I'm just at a bit of a loss of how we do that. But
The group of you hear a ripping and tearing sound all of a sudden. Aeolus, you've gotten close enough. And the little bit of fabric that you have attached to the holster that you use for Vergasiv tears as the two pieces of rod fly through the air, meeting in the middle, and snap together.
Mm.
Can I run over and grab the rod?
You can.
I will do that.
Thing is following.
I will go over to Shia and Helia and lay on my hands for 20 points of healing.
Oh my goodness, thank you.
And then dump the last 15 points onto myself.
I've updated Vergasiv's handout as well, Aeolus.
Okie doke.
Right. What will it be for the group of you?
Now, I don't want to be disrespectful and just bamf in and out of somebody's home, and I point over to the dragon there. So, can we just take a quick glance around and then leave before we just come back every day?
Sure. But I suggest if there's the horde of anything, we don't touch it. If we want
Yeah.
to.
No.
If we want to.
Dunny, if anything ever comes at us and we have to fight them because we didn't get out of here alive, I'm never going to forgive you.
Just stick close to me and I bamf us out if anything goes wrong, alright?
Yeah. We're going to have to do.
Where's
So
my
is there-
Greater Bulette stat block?
Is there anything that's obviously noticeable in this room, or is it just
Taking a glance through the area, there doesn't appear to be. There's a number of additional crystal walls, like you've seen previously exploring these areas. All of these appear to be intact, though. You
Okay.
suspect whoever had gained access to this space had come through the way that you had passed through.
But there is a way open right now, correct?
I mean, there's fog that you have to
Okay.
deal with. Like, your best way out at this point is absolutely done it.
No, I was just wondering if there were ways in we could try and close them up, but if there's like 5 of them, that might be too big of an effort right now. Yeah. Done, and I don't see anything else in here.
Seems like we've dealt with the danger. And I hope that dragon can slumber alone now.
Me too.
Alright, everybody get around. Time for a ride.
Okay.
I'll teleport us back to the meat hall.
Okay. To Rook's Meat Hall.
Hmm.
Okay. As you focus on your helm, all of you feel the familiar pinching, squeezing, sucking sensation as you feel like you are stretched through a tunnel that's almost too small for you to fit through. That brief moment of claustrophobia condenses around you. You also hear something. This long, prolonged sound of noticement. You hear a word which none of you recognize. And then you feel solid ground underneath your boots once more as you appear in the midst of Rook's Meat Hall, close to about 5 a.m. You're about an hour from dawn at this point. And let's take a mid-session break here, I think. I think that's the narrative point, even though we're a little bit early.
Okay.
Sure.
What time back?
On
do
the
like-
hour, 5 after. What do you guys want?
Can we do 5 after? Is that all right?
Yeah, sounds good.
Thank you.
See you back in a bit.
See you.
All right. Getting back into everything. The group of you have your feet land at the well-worn boards of Rook's Mead Hall and Inn. As you do, and you get that initial glance around the room, everything started going slow for me. Can you hear me?
Yep.
No.
Yep.
And you get that initial glance around the room. You see, despite what appears to be the early hour, there's a number of people up. Bloodshot eyes, bags underneath them, hair a mess. About a half dozen people here in conversation that has suddenly stopped at your abrupt appearance.
Can I do a perception check to try and... Are these people, like, armed, or are they workers, or, like, just how they're dressed?
Make me an insight check. It's not about,
Okay.
what...
Yeah,
it's not about seeing stuff, it's about interpreting what you see.
It makes sense.
While he's doing that, I'll just say, it's magic.
Oh, yeah, don't notice anything.
Never I seen anything magical? And that's it. Back to your drinks.
Someone said, what did you want?
I said to the.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes more
Ta-da.
sense. Gotcha. Okay.
At the very least, is the bartender there, the lady we talked to previously?
Yes. Just one of the individuals that's up and about. As you sort of offer this explanation, do you want anything?
Sure.
Ale, as much as you have.
We're a
I
mead
asked
house,
her,
I'll get you mead.
Sure, we'll get some mead.
I take meat as well.
What's all the commotion? A lot of early birds this morning.
One amongst the group whom you recognize as Finian. Looks up and... Well, it's a number of problems that are going on. About 10 minutes ago, there was this tremor that rocked through the sea. Woke me up. I was dead to sleep. Apparently woke up a lot of people. And there's sounds, coming from some of the districts outside. Stick your head out the fucking door.
Before I step out, I said, wouldn't happen to be the districts that the Order of Well managed, would it?
It's in that direction. I mean, there's a lot in that direction.
Oh,
I am going to exit and just walk outside, ignoring their complaints about an explosion or tremor.
You step outside. Make a perception check.
I'll already had 2 meats.
Dunn's working hard on his belly.
Double
Yes.
fisting. He has a mead mug in each hand.
This is just sad to watch.
Why is everything running so slow on me right now?
It doesn't seem to be... I don't see it happening on my end, so it might be your internet connection.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
I don't know. That's fine.
Yeah.
Alright, 17. Aeolus, you hear sounds of breaking wood. Very, very faint. You hear the sounds of what appear to be like heavy knocks. Make me a history check. Okay. You can't quite place that. You also smell burning. Like someone has an open fire.
I'm going to run towards that smell.
I'm going to follow.
You can't
Aeolus.
place it. You just smell it on the
Oh.
breeze. It's not like it's coming from down the block or something.
I'll approach Aeolus and be like, should we investigate or doesn't seem
I think
good.
so. Yeah. Get everyone ready. And I'm going to take Pergusive and use the 2 charges, and I'll cast Fly on myself and just take off towards the Helm district.
Tang's going to swear under her breath.
As
Can we
soon
ever
as
take
you
a rest?
as soon as you take flight, Aeolus, you see the better part of about a dozen buildings ablaze all throughout the city.
I stop immediately.
Oh, while he's flying, can I cast something?
I
I
wouldn't.
will
Yeah,
cast-
well, you're in the meat hall, so you don't know
Yeah.
that he's taking flight.
Yeah, I'll cast Aura Vitality and just heal everybody.
Well,
Okay.
Aeolus is not within range of you.
Oh. Everybody except the Aeolus then.
So we get 2d6 back.
No, it's a bonus action. He has 20d6
Every-
to dole out.
Yeah.
So
How many
put
we have?
here. I'll put it in Discord.
Yeah.
Um,
So, yeah.
put this on your copy paste, and then just paste that in 10 times, saying who gets what every time.
Yeah. Let's start with Heli. That's the lowest. Then Shire. Myself. And Secret. The Secret is looking fine, so 10 to Secret. 10 to Tang. Myself again, and Tang. Not Tang, sorry, Shire again.
Okay.
Siegfried gets 10.
And the spell's finished at that point.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, Aeolus, over the course of the minute while that's happening inside, you've gained a little bit of altitude. You see across the city, there's at least a dozen burning buildings. There's sounds that are now easier to hear. The sound of wood splintering. You hear the crack of things splitting from those fires specifically. You hear screams here and there. You hear members of what you presume to be the local guard calling out.
I am going to fly down to the closest guard and ask, what do you need help with?
Alright, give me one moment. Let me pull up my details for the guards.
Spencer, just so you know, it's a lot quieter, but there's still a little bit of background noise coming through. A tiny bit.
Quick question. While Dunnan is doing Aura of Vitality, Actually, never mind. I'm not going to do it too. I need to save a 3rd level spell slot for Revivify.
You drop down to the nearest individual. You've been through the city enough to recognize their general appearance. They have a vaguely conical helm, usually a scarf of some point over their brow that they can pull across their face in the event of sandstorms and the like. And they carry a scimitar, along with a fairly ornamented but still probably functional breastplate. As you drop down to them, oh, wait, OB.
What do you need help with?
Don't know. Not sure what's going on yet.
There are buildings on fire, people screaming. We heard the tremors.
You cut in and out.
Focus on the injured, and please get someone or something to help put the fires out. And Aeolus is going to take off and is going to gauge the closest fire to the aid house and then head there.
Closest one, probably, let me guess, maybe about 800, 900 feet away from you. They're not nearby to you.
Okay.
The meat house is on the southeastern quarter of the entire city. The fires seem to be in northernmost ward.
Okay.
And the southwest. So you are crossing the better half of the city in whichever direction you go.
Then I'll just head straight back to the aid house and just stay hovering until everyone exits.
Okay, so what are the rest of you doing? You're still inside.
After the vitality, I would try and find Aeolus and follow him.
After my 4th meet, I would have gone out. Just sigh.
Yeah.
Do we ever
Only
get rest?
to.
Yeah, I think we're all filing out.
Siegfried, there's fires up in the northern ward and a few in the southwest.
So, which one should we prioritize?
Let's split up and look for clues.
Okay, Fred.
All right.
I'll be your Daphne.
So, who can fly and who has to walk? Jaya, can you fly?
Yeah, I can fly, I think.
Tang takes wing.
Dunnan, you can't fly.
Nope.
Neither can.
And I never
neither can
try.
fly.
The
I think
Astar.
my
That's
flight's
the name of the
about
guards.
to end.
Okay. So, Dunnan and Heli, Aeolus are about to lose flight. Which is the closest one? The southwest or the north one?
Southwest.
So non-flight people go
Yeah.
southwest, flight people can go north.
Probably about 500, 600 feet south of
Okay.
the library.
Heli Heli, Dunnan, and Aeolus go southwest. Me, Teng, and Jaya will go north. How about that? I have a
Right.
potion of flying.
Sounds peachy.
Stay
Alright.
safe.
We
Splitting
probably
party.
won't.
What could go wrong?
Yep. I swig a potion of flying, and then I start heading north.
Hey, if this doesn't bring back memories for at least someone else in this party chat,
It's perfect. The three most fucked up people go in one direction, and the three helpers go in the other. What can go wrong?
Exactly.
at least there's no dragons.
For
That we know
now.
of.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Teng, do you want to stick with the walkers?
No.
So we'll be
We
good.
stick
No.
with what
No.
you said. No,
We'll be
no.
fine.
Alright.
Yeah, no. We
Just
already
Do we
split.
have an agreement, though? Do we have an agreement to just see what's happening and then meet back?
Yeah. So
And
we'll
try to rescue whoever we
Not
can.
to
But here's the
engage.
thing.
yeah.
Tang has one level 3 spell slot left, and that is it. That is all I have.
Yes. All right. We'll
That's
try
okay.
and
We won't need it.
if there's trouble, we'll retreat to the mead hall and
Great.
we'll meet back here. But
I'm
need to
saving that
investigate
for
what's going
Revivify, just in case.
Just remember, I can't teleport us anymore today, so
yep.
Nope.
be cautious.
Okay. So, northern bound is Siegfried, Jaya, and Tang. Are you going with them?
Yeah, I am.
All right, we'll handle the three of you first. And all of you are flying, correct?
Yep. I have a potion of flying, so it'll wear off at some point. So
Okay. So
I took it immediately when we left the mead hall.
you also fly twice as fast as them.
Do I do? I do fly?
Potion of flight is 60 feet around.
Oh. Dang, I didn't know that.
Um,
that's good to know.
So the slowpokes are trying to keep up with you. As you make your way, are you gaining a lot of altitude, or are you staying close to the streets, like just above roof height?
I think just above so we can see what's going down below, but not so we're like running into buildings, I guess.
High enough to get over buildings, but you're not
Yeah.
taking like 50 to 100 feet above the buildings.
Yeah, basically.
I'm
Okay.
gonna make flying a little bit higher than Siegfried, just so that I can use really leverage my perception.
Okay. Noted. I'd like all three of you to roll perception checks. Jai, are you taking the same height as Tang? Or are you staying close to the rooftops?
I'll probably split the difference between the two.
Okay. So we have a column of flying individuals. I'd like perceptions for everybody. If
We're
my
flying in formation.
thing wants to
Okay,
update.
cool.
There we go.
Look at all the mushrooms.
We're flying by size as well.
That's amazing.
Because Siegfried's the heaviest, so he needs to be lower to the ground.
Yeah, I'm the smallest, so I'm up top.
Okay. Pretty good perception rolls overall. So right off the bat, you can see a few things. The fires appear to be set onto individual structures. It's not spreading from one building to an adjacent building. At least not by the path that you can guess. These appear to be separate instances of immolation.
Are the buildings that are on fire, do they have or do they not have the weird sigils?
They do not.
They do not. Do the
No.
buildings around them have the sigils?
As you get closer, it takes you about 2 minutes with that flight. Sort of because you're skimming and watching as you go, so you're not taking dash actions. The district into which you are flying and now darting around and looking at the fires, there are some buildings that bear the symbology of the Order of Whelm. Those buildings are not currently burning. The only buildings... Correction. The buildings that you find that are burning do not bear the Order of the Sigil. The Sigil of the Order of Whelm, pardon me. Now, there are other buildings that are not presently burning, to the best of your knowledge, that also lack the symbol, but you're not sure beyond that.
Are there any crews of people trying to put the fires out, or are they just letting them burn?
The streets are a hive of activity. There are people running to and fro. There's a series of lines of bucket brigades going from the central oasis, trying to move water as quickly as possible, and douse the buildings as best they can. While the group of you are sort of patrolling about, you hear the rushing sound of air as all of a sudden another building about 70 feet away from you in the middle of the district just immolates out of nowhere in this large column. It doesn't look like, with those checks, Jaya, make me an Arcana check.
Damn, what a time.
Finally. We
Oh,
still need an
seriously,
Arcana
it's been
You-
like
you
the
know-
worst fucking rolls all day.
You notice immediately, Jaya, as you're sort of... You didn't catch as much on the ground, so you're just sort of skimming at that moment, and you catch the moment of immolation, whereas the other two sort of turn their heads at the sound. It does not... The flames themselves did not originate from inside the building. They were spawned upon the building. You immediately recognize the signs of magic. Someone is setting fires. Or someone's. And not insignificant spell to coat an entire building in flame.
Siegfried would, if there's a bucket brigade working, he would try and go help whichever the nearest one was.
Tang is scanning for people who are grievously injured that she'd be able to stabilize using her healer's kit.
There's any number of them, Tang.
Okay. I'm just gonna, wherever Siegfried sets up, starting to work on the brigade, I'm gonna be
Nearby.
going and stabilizing as many people as I can.
Okay, roll me 3d12.
And if there's a bucket brigade, I would ask the brigade, are there people still inside?
Alright, noted. And then, Jai, what are you doing in that instant? You recognize this.
Would I be able to, like, trace the signature or somehow find whoever is casting it? Like, what can I do to figure out that part?
I'd like 2 rolls from you. I believe 2 rolls. Firstly, I suspect that you're going to want to try to obfuscate your searching for an individual that's setting buildings ablaze. So I'd like a stealth check. And secondly, I'd like an insight check. The streets are as I said, a throng of overwhelming activity as stuff is happening. So you're looking specifically for behavior that seems out of place. You know that someone or several someones are setting these fires, so it'd be people that are either not participating in trying to put them out, or trying to make it look like they're participating, but are instead not. So you have a few different directions you could go with that. Very good stealth. So you'll light on a roof nearby after picking a building that does have the Order of Whelm sigil upon it, so you're not at immediate risk of being immolated yourself. And then Siegfried, the people with whom you speak as you are helping ferry water to and from, passing it along, they do not appear to be any more knowledgeable than you are about the individuals that may or may not be within some of these buildings. There's easily a dozen buildings at this point in this district alone that are on fire.
Okay.
Tang,
I
you
will-
can find up to 21 individuals that are injured. How many charges of your kit do
I'm
you want to
using
spend?
all of them.
Okay, sounds good. How many do you have?
I have currently a total of 87 charges available.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Over the first 10 minutes of doing so and applying this emergency first aid, it's eating through. You can, for every minute that you spend here, you can spend another 2 charges. There are no number of people who, some of whom seem to have been like injured through inhalation of the smokes from the fires. Others who seem like they might have been injured in the crowds of people that are rushing about, trying to form these bucket brigades and forming a new bucket brigade every time another building goes up in flame. So yeah, there's. If you look for injured people, you'll find injured people.
I am gonna be healing as many people as I can using my kit, stabilizing as many people as I can, and ordering the people that are still able to walk, that are not helping with the fire brigade, to get them to a safe place. Like out of this district.
Okay.
Triaging as best I can.
All right. While that's going on for the 3 of you in the northern ward, in the southwest, the other 3 of you, Aeolus, Dudden, Heliwrast, you're rushing through on foot. Takes you about 5 to 10 minutes, roughly. The streets are busy. The southwest is a smaller series of 2 wards, but they are pretty densely packed and slightly taller buildings. They exist to the south of the Great Library. As you are sort of trying to push your way through these crowds and find out what's going on, you can see lines forming and more bucket brigades ferrying pails of water from the central oasis to the buildings on fire. While you've been moving, you've seen the flashes of light of new buildings catching fire off in the distance of your direction. So whatever your immediate thought is, whatever the fire is, it's spreading. You have no concept of it being magically set as of yet. What are 3 of you doing?
Are we able to track the general direction of where the fire is spreading?
Make an intelligence check. Are you proficient with carpenter's tools?
I am not.
Then yeah, just intelligence check. I feel like carpenter's tools would be the right one for that. It seems to be random. You notice that the most recent building that went up, the ones adjacent to it are not on fire. Everything around it is not on fire. Just that building. And you can make a perception check as well, because you rolled well on the intelligence. You don't notice anything else. It's just the nearest building that you just recently saw have the flames sort of dance upon the top of it. Everything around it's not on fire.
Do I hear anything from within the building?
Not immediately, no. Not with that check. I mean, not for lack of trying. There's sounds all over the place. There's people screaming. The stunning sounds that you were hearing previously, you realize are those of halberds that the Oscar have brought out. That's the guards, whose name I couldn't remember for the life of me. That are using them as firemen's axes and breaking indoors to try to get people out of buildings before they might catch fire. Especially like all of the ones adjacent to the ones that are on fire. They're shouting in various languages. There's children crying, lost track of parents or family members in the crowd before they're found again. There's a cacophony of sound happening at this moment. So
Then
it's not surprising you don't hear anything coming from a building directly. That is also filled with the sounds of the inferno.
Then not worrying about whether or not I look strange, I'm going to take the Mimic Slash and I'm just going to start using it to break an entrance and make my way into the building to see if there's anyone I can find.
The burning building or the other buildings around?
The burning one.
Okay. What are your current hit points?
I am at 16.
Okay. Noted.
And if this looks like...
How many rounds do you want to spend searching?
So...
For every round you spend in this building, you are taking a d4 points of fire damage. Everything is on fire. This is not a small blaze. Anything that could burn is burning.
Building.
The building is an inferno.
Okay, then that... So...
You can search. You can check to see if there's anyone that's been trapped in here. But you are taking damage every round that you are within this building. From not even being in the fire, it's just the sheer proximity of those flames. Yeah. You've walked into an oven. Or are about to walk into an oven.
I will go immediately where I'm able to latch the Mimic Slash to and spend a few seconds just screaming and calling out.
Okay. I'll interpret that as 1 round inside. You take 4 points of fire damage.
Okay.
Just pushing your face into this area. It is scalding air. Dezo's got nothing on this. As you are shouting, make me a performance check. 19. Okay. Good roll. You give a few good hearty shouts. You feel comfortable that your voice carries weight through this space. You listen for a moment. You do not hear any other calling back to you.
Then I'll go back out to the street and see if Heliwrast and Dunnan have found anything.
Ellie, Dunnan, one of the two you doing?
Dunnan would help the guards breaking doors.
Breaking doors? Okay.
Yeah.
Roll me a series of athletics checks. 4.
Yep.
And Heliwrast, what are you doing? What actions are you taking?
Action would be also to be breaking down doors with Shade and Shine, but also looking to see if any of the burning buildings have that Order of Whelm mark on them.
Okay, make me a perception check. It doesn't take you long to realize Shade and Shine, whilst being axes, are not axes made for cutting into wood.
Absolutely not.
They lack the fulcrum that the halberds are providing, or the sheer power of something like heart iron. So,
she's just reaching in with her bare hands and pulling things apart.
So as you turn to start gazing around, the few burning buildings that you do come across as you're sprinting through the streets do not appear to have the symbols of the Order of Whelm, but some of the walls have already been scorched beyond recognition, so you're not sure. You think so.
Right.
You do see about 50% of the buildings within this district that are not burning bear the Order of Whelm. The other 50% that are not burning do not. So you can interpret that as you may. Coming back to the northern team. You've been helping for about 15 minutes now. Tang, mark off another 10 uses of your kit. What are you continuing to do? Are you staying here? Are you continuing to help? Are you going back to report to your companions? What's the plan? Jaya, you do not spot anyone that sort of stands out to you as setting fires.
I was hoping to use the Ring of Winter to try and put out some of the fires, or at least push it back.
Okay. How
Or
are
the
you
bucket
doing
brigade.
so?
I'll wait for like I'll follow behind the crews breaking the doors to at least give people a chance to get out, and then once the door crews move away, I will blast it with a cone of cold. At least give it a chance for the bucket brigades to get closer.
Okay, make me a wisdom check. That's your
Okay.
spellcasting ability. So let's go with wisdom. If I could make sure to scroll down in my chat. 12. It's
And if that
helping. It's helping in the sense that you're reasonably preventing the blowback of when they break open the door and inadvertently introduce a whole bunch of air all of a sudden into the fire by cooling that space. But you're definitely damaging the interior as much as the fire would. It's something.
yeah,
So
I'm just I'm
it,
trying to control the temperature for the door crews.
yeah. It's as you use charges, you realize you're doing less for the fires and more just for trying to protect the Ascar.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to keep the Asgard from
That's fine.
dying in the fire.
Um,
And
even-
I'll use all my charges except for the last one because that would destroy my ring, right? If I use the last one.
No,
Okay.
this ring doesn't have that property.
Oh, okay. Never mind. So I will use
It's an
as many
artifact.
charges as I can. Which I have 6 now. So
You
that's
have
that's three. That's three cone of colds basically.
Noted. Okay.
Yeah.
Jaya, while you are hiding and sort of gazing at the crowd, crouched like a gargoyle, trying to ascertain intention as people are moving around, about 70 feet down from you, near the main road, another building goes up, and you can shift and alight near there. Make a perception check for me.
$15.
Okay. You see about 3 individuals, which would have just seemed strange to you, that are walking swiftly away from where the fire is, whereas everyone else has sort of turned towards this sudden explosion. Not an explosion, this sudden inferno that's engulfed another building. You just see 3 individuals that have not turned, like you would have expected. And they're disappearing into the off of the main road into the central area of the district.
I'd like to follow them.
Okay. Make me another stealth check. As you go. Very good.
27.
There. Alighting from building to building. You see them dogging in and out between alleyways. Clearly adept at potentially being able to lose a tail if that tail was on foot. But you, who are not beholden to having to take corners in full, can jump and light from rooftop to rooftop very silently as you proceed, and you're able to keep line of sight on them. After about a minute of following them, they stop near another building, and you see the 3 of them sort of huddled together for a moment, and your ears pick up chanting. About a minute after they begin chanting, you see a glyph appear in the air in front of all three of them in this loose semicircle, which they then push as it floats through the space and impacts the wall of the building in which they stand in front of. The entire building ignites in flame. And you see the three individuals duck away again as you hear more screams and people crying out that another building's caught fire. And you continue to follow them.
Yeah, I want to see if I can like identify anything interesting about their clothing. Anything that would be like an identifiable factor for like later investigation.
Certainly. So make me 3 perception checks. As you...
Ooh,
Oh, there you go.
23 on the last one.
No problem. You're trying to position yourself carefully. Each time they sort of stop at a building, they stop, they start chanting for about a minute, and another glyph appears. The glyph is this glowing bit of orange arcane energy that's floating in the air for a moment, that they then send through the space, and the building ignites when it touches. So, the first time you would light on a building adjacent to the one, hoping to try to see underneath their hoods from where the glyph appears. Get a look at about a chin. There's a goatee, you think, or a beard, maybe. But before you're able to get like a good look, they turn and proceed onwards. The second time, you risk being on top of the building that you know they're about to try to set fire to. And you realize you should get off of there a little bit sooner than you are able, than you're willing to risk. The third time, you take the riskiest approach, but it pays off for you. Alighting on the awning of a building nearby, but lower down. You're only about a dozen feet off the ground, and sort of press yourself down onto the awning in the direction that you think they're going to be traveling. And as the building, this third building that you've followed them to, ignites, and they turn in your direction, you can see the flickering flames. Is a goatee of an elven gentleman. He's got a waxed mustache and a long-ish goatee, about 4 inches, that's seems to also be waxed and pulled to a sharp point at the bottom. Looks to be a little bit wizened of a gentleman. The second individual is a dwarven woman. You didn't think so, but based on the stoutness, they're rather slight for a dwarf, with a series of tattoos upon their face. And this... It's tough to tell the color. Your only source of light at that moment is the burning building, which only casts orange light, and you're relying on dark vision. So you don't know the color of the tattoos, but she has tattoos upon her face. And then the third individual is a tabaxi. Coloration, you're not quite sure. But you get a decent look at each of their faces. You feel confident you'd probably be able to recognize them again if you weren't trying to ask to like pick them out from a crowd of thousands, for example. But there's those 3 individuals. And they pass directly underneath the awning that you're sort of tucked into. Do you continue to follow them?
Yeah, I'm just gonna try to follow them and try to pick up any of their conversations. Just keep going.
Okay, make me another stealth check, and we'll come back. Tang, you're continuing to help people. Make me a just general charisma check. A bedside manner check, Tang.
I'm not doing great.
No.
The stress is compounding.
Yeah, it's building.
I'm like muttering under my breath about everything that's been going on. I'm not really paying attention to what they're telling me. I'm just like rapid.
No.
Apply healing kit. Yell at people to do things. Apply healing kit.
Move on, yeah.
Move on.
You don't pick up any details from what people are saying as you're dealing with it. You're just sort of in the mode of assess, handle it, move on. Assess, handle it, move on. You are in go mode. And Siegfried, you're continuing to help the Asgard best you can, correct?
Yep. Until my magic runs out, and then I'd probably go back to help Tang and the families.
Brigade. Okay.
Yeah.
Noted. Okay.
I don't have any weapons or anything like that.
Shia, as you go to take wing again, after getting this good look, and stand to take a few flaps and get altitude, your weight is a little bit too much for the awning upon which you find yourself. And there's a cracking sound that splits through the air. And you know the individuals just passed by you. You don't know if they heard it or not. Do you turn and look and check, or do you just try to get out of there?
Shit. I think she would like really try to play it off like she just got caught in an updraft and like that kind of like, oh shit, like like brush herself off and like try to casually saunter away.
Make me a deception check.
Crap. Okay. Oh no. So bad. 18.
Wow. I mean, you need to roll well. The numbers do exist on those dice for you. You can get above a 10. As you sort of tumble and onto the ground, you do take a d6 falling damage. Take 4 points falling damage. And you sort of play it off like, oh, I just woke up. What's going on around here? You see 3 hooded individuals. Their faces now shrouded in shadow again. The open hood sort of gazing at you for a moment. Need to check their insights. Okay. Sort of gaze at you for a moment. 2 of them turn around. And the third that continues to watch you just reaches back and places a hand on one of their compatriots' shoulders and allows themselves to be led away while still watching you.
Fine, thank you for checking. Oh, what assholes. And I'm just gonna walk the other direction.
Okay, noted. You do lose track of them because of the failed stealth roll. You were not discovered, as far as you know, but you do lose track of them in the throng of people. Coming back to the southern group, more and more buildings are starting to go up, and you are feeling yourself the lethargy of the last 24 hours are starting to take their toll fairly rapidly.
Can I see the library from where we are?
You can. It's the most imposing structure in the entire city, and it stands a good 100 feet above everything else.
Is that on fire?
It is not.
I'm gonna call out to Heliwrast and to Tannen. You should probably regroup with the others. And
I mean,
I'll
there is
start
no end to this fire.
Yeah. I'd love to help, but I don't think I can do much good just hauling buckets.
More and more Asgar and other citizens are arriving as time goes on as well.
I think we should leave that to the guards and the bucket people there.
I think so.
Yeah.
So you start headed back to the Rooks.
Yeah.
Yep. Keeping an eye out to see if there's anything suspicious happening on the streets. Like if we're able to see members of Whelm, if we're able to see, like, has Finch left? Anyone that we may recognize just by our experiences here.
Keep an eye out. Make a perception check. Just in case one such individual might pass by you. As you make your way back. Northern group. So we have Jaya, Tang, and Siegfried. You also can feel the exhaustion starting to set in. How long are you going to continue to be up here?
Once my magic is out, I'm gonna try and regroup and head back to the mead hall.
Okay.
I'll probably just wait on 10 whenever she wants to leave.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, but Siegfried is gonna need to walk back. you can't fly back.
No.
So.
Tang is like PTSD from the sickness mode. She is not going to leave anybody unless she gets physically dragged away, or somebody rolls a really good persuasion check, or she runs out of healing kits.
Okay.
I'll stay with Teng until she collapses and take her back, and I'll tell Jaya to go and report if she has anything to Aeolus. If she finds us.
Jaya?
Yeah, I think I would have tried to make my way back to where I last saw them after my spill, and then
you can hear the chipper calls of Tang ringing out. It's not that hard to find the beacon that is the ball of poof that is a ball of stress.
Maybe I can follow behind Tang and provide the bedside manager for a little bit.
Tang presses to. Wait, does Siegfried? If I give Siegfried healing kits, do I know if he'll be able to handle them?
So there's two things that the healer's kit does. So a use of the healer's kit lets you bypass the medicine check necessary for stabilizing a dying creature, meaning leaving them at 0. You have the benefit of the healer feat, which means once per rest, you can spend a healer's feat, the healer's kit, a charge of the healer's kit on an individual and let them regain hit points as opposed to just stabilizing them.
Yeah.
So he can use a healer's kit to stabilize, but not make people conscious. So you have your own sort of accoutrement of sort of smelling salts and a little bit of like different herbal remedies that you sort of have to mix to get that are in the kits that you throw together on the fly based on what you observe, but that's a skill that Siegfried lacks.
Okay, great. Then I'm just going to hold on to all my healer's kits and continue to blow through the charges.
I'll follow behind there and just offer people water and food and just try and help them after they're conscious.
Okay. Siegfried and Teng both mark level of exhaustion. The rest of you roll a con save against exhaustion.
Where's the exhaustion tracker? Oh, there it is.
Jesus.
Done in exhaustion. Wow. Okay, just done in exhaustion. On top of that. And that's the second natural one you've rolled on a con save.
It's great, right?
Yeah. I mean, the first one was concentration, and 10 was the DC, so you were fine. The rest of you, the other 4 of you, are able to meet up at Rook's. Teng and Siegfried, about 40 minutes later, roughly. But
I'll let Teng perch on my shoulder if she wants to, if she doesn't want to fly back.
So
Tang collapses.
the
Oh,
other
we'll just
four of you
figure
at
out.
Rooks. Do you wait on Siegfried and Teng? There is still a small sort of gathering of minds that's happening in the common hall here. Finian is still awake. People are talking, speculating what rumors are going on. Bits of knowledge seem to have trickled in here and there. How do you pass the time?
Well, Danan is probably just gonna get up and slump into bed since he is point of exhaustion. He just got his powers back. He had a big fight. He's just out.
Okay.
He's asleep before his head hits the pillow. And he
Noted.
snores very loudly.
I would like to pull Finch aside.
Wait, what is it? He seems to be significantly imbibed. What can I do for you?
Do you know?
He just sort of looks at you, explaining. Usually people follow that with some other piece of information. If I know, I'm not sure if I know what I don't know. What do I know?
Aeolus just stands up and he just exits the building and waits for Siegfried and Kang just absent-mindedly.
Hey, fuck him. It ain't, he goes back to conversation with, other people. Time passes. Unless anyone else has anything.
Ellie will join Aeolus outside. She doesn't like being inside right now. She's got this feeling that the place could also end up in flames. So she doesn't want to be inside any building.
No.
If at all possible.
Alright. Presently, your other compatriots return looking beleaguered and exhausted.
There wasn't much
Both
we
of
could
them
do.
covered in ash and dirt and sand.
Are the both of you all right?
Yes, Teng is probably gonna need a little bit. Seems like she stirred up some bad memories, but she was admirable, but there wasn't much we can do. The fires just kept happening. I would help the guard clear one building, and then another one would go up right next to us. I don't know what was going on.
Kang is soot-streaked and has fallen asleep, being carried by Siegfried.
Siegfried, let's all rest in the same room.
I agree.
I presume you're all in, with the exception of Dunnan, all in the common room at the moment.
Yeah,
as well.
I think let's go back. I need to lay down.
Yeah, and we'll go into the room that Dunnan's in.
When you enter the common room, as you're having this conversation, there's a series of there's a number of individuals in there with an immediate series of questions of, what's going on? Why do you look so rough? You're covered in, I don't know, dirt, ash, soot. Are people hurt? You have a lot of questions that are being asked of you immediately.
Siegfried, take 10 upstairs.
All right, I nod and I just wade my way through the crowd, and
It appears that there are buildings that are on fire. We don't know much more other than that. I'm pretty sure your city guard will know more. Is there anyone here that is missing someone at the moment?
You hear a few people sort of murmur, like, what I can think of? There's a few people, got family here, there, like, your question doesn't really seem to land in a particular way. It's not something people have thought of, like, missing somebody at that moment. I mean, they were staying here at an inn as opposed to, like, a family member's place in town, so...
Right. With them distracted, Aeolus is going to move everyone else upstairs.
Works. Alright. They're all ushered upstairs to one of the rooms. Is it the room in which you found Jaya?
Yeah, Siegfried would also be specifically looking for Jaya as well.
She's there right now.
Yeah, I would like once we're in the room, I asked Jaya, did you see anything? I saw you scoping out the area. Those fires weren't natural.
No, not at all. So I did find 3 individuals. I followed them for quite some time, but they were chanting, and then the fire started. So they were casting some sort of spell, this glyph that would appear. There was a dwarven woman, I think. This elf with a goatee. Looked a little too lax, just a little too pristine. Just one of those, and a tabaxi. I couldn't see anything else on them that was more identifiable. Does that sound like anybody you've seen here?
Can I do a history check to see if I've ever seen these people? Or
yeah, sure.
Probably not.
Oh.
It was just a 12. That's good work, Jaya.
I put their loose descriptions into your adventure notes as well.
You didn't see the nature of the tattoos, did you? Or you just saw that they were marked?
Yeah, I just saw the tattoos. I couldn't tell the colors or anything like that. It was just...
They did appear... Make a history check.
We've heard about a woman with tattoos before.
Yeah.
I made a history check, which is a 12. Does someone else have to?
No. I wanted Jaya to make the history check.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay. Roll 20 clearly hates me today.
I mean, you have a plus 13, so it's still a pretty good roll. At that point, it's just how much do you succeed as opposed to do you fail. The tattoos that were on this dwarven woman's face appeared to be relatively blocky and sort of runic in nature, in lines that would come down across her brow, over her eye, and then disappear under her chin. So 2 lines upon her face, but they were not just lines, they were made out of different runes and glyphs and whatnot.
I would also have disadvantage on that history check, so there. I'm exhausted.
Sure. Okay.
Does it sound similar to the description to the woman that
Anan met one when Timo was missing.
Right.
The one that you heard about from Timu? About Timu's disappearance? That you did not meet?
I guess that's what Sam is asking, yeah.
Sounds similar. A slight dwarven woman with tattoos on her face.
And braided hair?
Sounds about right. I mean, Jai didn't get a glance at the hair.
I have a question that none of you are gonna like. If the Order of Whelm is setting fires, it's a distraction. What would the distraction be for? Because I have an idea.
Probably the places the fires aren't happening. So
A certain person in power.
But we can't do much about that right now. Also, there's another purpose for fire. That's hiding evidence.
Was the dwarven woman actually working for Opulent Depths, or was she... That Timo is? Should we ask at Opulent Depths and see what their take is on all this?
While this conversation is happening, you all see the first rays of dawn. Magic items recharge.
Well, Siegfried seeing the power come back to the Ring of Winter, he's like, well, that's my signal to go to bed. But, we were told we could trust that woman at the Opulent Depths Company by our superiors, so I don't think that's a bad idea. I also think we might need to report this back home, if we can, but that's something we'll have to discuss with Teng when she's awake. I turned to Aeolus, I think this is exactly the type of stuff we were sent to find out about, don't you think?
I think it's the type of stuff we were supposed to stop.
Not necessarily. This isn't our home. We can't just go into other cities and infringe on their autonomy. If it's an internal struggle, it has to be resolved internally. We were just told to try and figure out exactly what's happening, but I do wish we could have stopped the fires. Don't get me wrong.
I'm not worried about the property damage.
I'm worried about the loss of life.
That's what I'm worried of. But everyone rest. We'll tackle this when we're fresh. And Aeolus is going to ritually put an alarm up.
Okay.
And he posts up.
Are you all resting in the room, or are you resting in Felfaral's library?
Siegfried's gonna rest in the room.
Teng's resting wherever Siegfried puts her down.
Noted. Okay. Saving the library for later then.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Aeolus is going to post watch at the door.
Yeah.
Okay. What are you doing to post watch?
I'm staying up.
Okay. How long
Ellie
are you
has the
staying
same
up?
idea.
I will stay up.
Every hour you are staying up, you're rolling a con save.
I'll
You
stay
are
up.
all bordering on exhaustion.
Siegfried just says, Aeolus, why don't you just lean a chair against the door? Just come to bed.
I'll stay up for the first hour, and then I'll go to sleep.
Okay, make a con save.
Ellie will ask you to wake her up. She'll stay awake for an hour. She's afraid this place is going to go up in flames just as much as anything else.
Helly, make a con save.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. You both do not gain a level of exhaustion in the first hour. You continue to stay up. I believe is anyone else staying up, or is everyone else crashing at this point?
I'm asleep.
Jaya?
I'm gonna sleep if I can.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Aeolus, Helly, you continue to stay up, or do you crash?
I think Ellie's just going to try to stay awake but pass out.
Okay. You fall asleep. Aeolus,
I will try to stay up for the second hour,
make
and
another
then
con save.
I will sleep after that.
Are you getting a level of exhaustion? First couple hours pass, Aeolus, and you can feel yourself fading rapidly before crashing for the morning, not really for the evening. Those of you who have a level of exhaustion, which I believe is Aeolus, Siegfried, and Teng, correct?
Me too.
And Dunnan. Thank
Yeah.
you. All of you need to roll a con save. Alright. Aeolus, you do all complete your long rest, and you can long rest your sheets. Aeolus, you do not receive the removal of that exhaustion due to the regional effect of the Deep Dragon.
Yep.
The rest of you remove your exhaustion successfully.
Okay. Long rest.
Get up. Do I see that Aeolus is like, look like shit? Still looks like shit.
It's tired and beleaguered. Probably stayed up for a while.
Well,
Whoa, it is.
it's. I know you, Aeolus. Here, drink that, and I'll give him my potion of vitality that I held on, which I think cures exhaustion, right?
I believe it does more than that.
It heals all exhaustion.
Well, here you go.
Thank you.
To health.
And Aeolus is going to swig his mutagens instead.
Noted. The group of you reach a milestone as well.
Ooh,
They understand.
it's been a while.
Like, beyond that.
Yeah.
Nice.
So this is a feat as well.
Just for clarification, Aeolus, you didn't take the potion now. Or you did?
I don't
did
believe
it.
he drank it. I believe he has
Right.
it for if
Okay.
he probably gets a second level, which seems like an Aeolus thing to do. Somehow, I suspect it's his thoughts.
Or to save someone else from multiple exhaustions.
Hey, those Kenku were fun to play.
Those Kenkus were a terror.
That they have very good poison. They live in a swamp.
Every Kenku I've ever been introduced to has just been frightening.
That's fair. Yeah, most of the Kenku in my games are nasty.
Ooh,
One of them was
worst.
undead. That was fine. Okay. So, you all gain milestone, which is a feat. Anyone know what they're going to be taking? Not sure what they're taking.
I think I'm gonna take Eldritch
Not
Adept.
sure yet.
Okay. That's
And,
you get to take an invocation, correct?
Yeah, and I'm gonna take the one that gives me Dark Vision.
Yeah!
Hey, no more prepping dark vision.
Exactly.
I
I need a
Devil's
extra
sight, right?
Devil's Sight, and also lets me see in magical darkness as well. So
Nice.
that's kind of cool.
Nice. Okay.
Yay! One of my infusions is worthless.
Oh, the night vision.
Yeah,
Can
I
you
was like-
change it? Or
I can
okay.
once we level up.
Yeah, when he gains
Okay.
a level.
Sorry.
I believe when you
I
gain a
feel like-
level as Bloodhunter also.
Am I a small race or no?
I
are.
believe you said that you were given the option. I believe you chose small. Yes.
Yeah, I think with Owlin you can choose either or, right?
Okay.
You're
Can
either
I-
medium or small.
So I can take squat nimbleness?
You can.
Great, I'm taking that.
Okay.
That sounds very appropriate for tongue.
It gives me +1 in strength or dex. My speed increases by 5 feet, and I get proficiency and advantage to escape with acrobatics or athletics.
That
Nice.
definitely seems in character for what just happened.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, a little bit more speed. And then when you're adding it to your sheet, just make sure to include like where you took the bonus and the strength of the dex.
Mhm.
All right. So we got Devil's Sight, Squat, Nimbleness. What are the rest of you going with?
I'm discussing with myself if I take Martial Adept.
That's the extra fighting style, correct?
Yes. Battlemaster features.
That's a cool one.
Oh, nice.
Or I'll take Resilient Con so that you never break my concentration ever again.
Well, you have +9 already, right?
Yeah.
So your concentration can't break off basic damage. So the
But I get
only
more
way your
hit points as
concentration
well.
breaks is if you take 20, or can potentially break, is if you take 22 or more damage. Because that would set the DC to 11. Because the DC has to not be 10 for you to break. And the lowest amount of damage to raise the DC from 10 would be 22. And then you would only fail it when you roll a 1 because you have +9, so you'd end up at a 10, which fails. But if you roll a 2, you get 11.
Just saying, Heli, you take 45 psychic damage. She rolled a 21 and failed, so
Yeah.
just saying.
Yeah, because your
Fucking
con
fabulous.
save would get an additional, I think,
And I would
+4.
gain hit points, yeah.
Oh, does it bring your con to
Yes.
an even number?
Yeah, to 20.
Ah, that works pretty well then. Yeah, because you gain 9 hit points immediately. Go up to
No,
130.
11, because I have tough.
Oh. No, 9.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, we don't gain a level.
Yeah, not a level,
you're
yeah.
right.
Yeah. So you gain 9 hit points immediately. There's +1 per level. And your con save would immediately become a 10 because of your charisma plus constitution base score, and then you get a proficiency instead of that. So you'd have a con save of +14.
It's kind of boring. I don't know. Just con. I think more fun would be Martial Adept. Or Alert, so I never get eaten alive by
That's a pretty good
ooze
feat.
again.
It's a pretty darn good feat. I think 2 or 3 people in here have this.
Yeah, I basically take that feat like for every character that I have that's not a sorcerer.
Sorry, which feat is it?
Alert.
Alert.
yeah.
Oh no, I
Oh,
thought you
it's
were saying
so
Brilliant.
helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Jaya, you have alert, correct?
I don't think so.
No.
You can't be surprised.
We usually always have one in a campaign. I think.
I know Tang has it.
I have it, yeah.
Aeolus, did you
I
take
have
alert?
it.
Yeah.
Aeolus does it
Yeah.
too.
I don't think anybody else does because we've definitely been surprised before, and it's just been me and Aeolus that could do things.
That's fair. What are you thinking, Jaya, for yours?
Honestly, the way I've been rolling, fucking lucky sounds like the best idea.
Yeah, no,
That's a great idea.
not wrong. Just being able to have a couple of redos in there. Okay.
Uh,
I'm changing my spells around a little bit since I no longer need to. Have
No longer need to prep dark vision ever again.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you could still prep dark vision, but you don't need to.
Yeah. I almost took it last time, but I really wanted the Metamagic Adept.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Does anyone need help adding the stuff to their sheet?
I am alright for now.
Still thinking. I'll let you know.
Okay. A lot of good options there. And then Shai, just make sure to make the resource on your sheet as well for Lucky. I got it for you.
oh, thank you.
Yep. Okay. Got a number of decent options. Got any thoughts, Helly? Where you're going with yours?
Not yet. Let's see. I'm lost. I'm gonna have to let you know.
Okay, sounds good. Come back to it. All right. With that milestone,
sorry.
so go ahead.
Oh, I want to Tang. Sam, does Tang have greater restoration?
It's always prepared.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I've got it. Don't worry.
All right, awesome.
100
That and
gold
mass
pieces.
cure wounds are always prepared
Okay,
for me.
cool. I have mass cure wounds, but I was like, I don't think I really need to take greater restoration if Tang has it, but
I do.
Greater Resto also requires
take the
diamonds.
diamond. Yep.
Diamond
Yep,
dust,
but I have
yeah.
a good number of them. And I now, at level 10, have...
You're not level 10.
Oh, no. Sorry. I was thinking that we're almost there. Never mind. At level 10, I can get Divine Intervention, which means I can cast it without needing the component
Awesome.
per day. But I'm not there yet.
Yeah. Because Divine Intervention was heavily reworked to not be a random percentile roll that you can attempt once a day.
Mm-hmm.
It's much better. It's much better Divine Intervention.
I have only gotten Divine Intervention to work once in any game, and I was like a level 17 cleric.
Yeah.
The roll was basically as maxed out as I could get it.
So with the milestone gained for the group of you, we're going to be finishing up the session today a little bit early as a good bookend, but I need to know what and where your intentions are sort of leading at this point. Fires have been put out over the course of the 8 hours that you've rested, because it's now it's afternoon. So the fires have been extinguished, but you are not sure what's going on in the city at the moment. Beyond just, you don't see fires outside when you wake up, if that makes sense. What directions are the group of you thinking that you're going to be going in?
I think Siegfried wanted to report back home and then see what they say and decide. That's what Siegfried's idea was.
Subsending.
Yep. But I think Aeolus wants to investigate if anything's happening with the King's Court, right?
Yeah, so making sure the ruler is safe, but also not trying to be kicked out or lose the money that I've put onto my armor that is
That's
a few
true.
days away. So
And,
I think Aeolus is gonna advocate for laying low, maybe asking Finch to gather word on the street for us.
Yeah, I think we also definitely want to look into the dwarf with the face tattoos.
Yeah.
So run down the lead that Jaya got you.
Yep.
Check in with home. Try to lay low, collect your armor. Find out what the hell's going on in the city. In a variety of options of means.
Yep.
Yeah, and even if it's would we want to do this over sending, or do we want to use the helm to teleport back and then just wait a day and then return?
I think we can. Both are, I think, reasonable. I think we can just wait and see, because if we go back home, we have to wait a whole day before coming back, right?
Right, but
So
it would be much easier to communicate
Yeah,
over
yeah.
face to face rather than the sending limitation.
Yeah, you're not burning
I
all the
think
Tang spells.
Yeah,
as you
that as
continuously volunteer her to spend her 3rd level spells.
well.
If she has the Bangle of the Starlight Raven, she just gets to spend those charges.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I
that
think,
item's not useful at all besides that.
I think we should
Clearly,
determine.
that's all it's meant for, is long distance communication.
I think whether or not we actually go home should be determined on if we find a lead on the dwarf.
I mean, the other option that you have is, if the goal is to lay low,
Yeah, we can just go home.
Being in the city is pretty darn low.
Yeah, then yeah, I think going home wouldn't be terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll let Finch know what our plan is.
Mhm.
Ask him to try to gather information, and then we're gonna receive orders.
Mhm.
Alright, so pop back home. Touch base with your
Also, Jaya
compatriots.
probably wants to see Kelpip in person too, right? That's a big part of her.
Oh yeah,
story.
that's a reunion.
Yeah.
I want to say.
So yeah, that sounds good to me.
Alright, wonderful. And then pop back to Akkad and find out what the hell's going on.
Exactly.
Okay, wonderful. So we'll be picking up with that stuff next session.
Okay,